The Minotaur was a fearful, savage and hybrid monster who had superhuman strength. According to the writer Apollodorus, it had the face of a bull, but the rest of him was human. In many artistic depictions, the Minotaur also had a bull's tail and an unusually hairy body. Pasiphae, the wife of the Cretan king Minos, had fallen in love with the Cretan Bull and devised a way to couple with it. The Minotaur was the result of that union. It was imprisoned in a huge maze called the Labyrinth, where it received regular sacrifices of young men and women. Eventually, the monster was slain by the Athenian hero Theseus, who entered and escaped the labyrinth with the help of Minos' daughter, Ariadne. In modern representations of the Minotaur, the human part of the creature is many times larger than an ordinary man and awfully muscular, while the bullhead includes large horns. Pablo Picasso, who created many sketches of the mythological tragedy, shows the Minotaur with many different versions of the bullhead, while his work Wounded Minotaur includes a tale on the poor character. Today, many computer games which use liberal references to European mythologies include minotaurs as enemies. These include the Assassin's Creed series, Hades, and Age of Mythology. Like many creatures from Greek myth, the massive monster Minotaur came into being under extraordinary circumstances. One day, King Minos of Crete was showing off to his family that he could ask the gods to grant him any wish. To prove the point, Minos asked Poseidon to summon up a majestic bull, which he would then sacrifice in return. Poseidon granted Minos his wish, making a striking white bull emerge from the sea. But Minos was so taken with the creature that he couldn't kill it. Instead, sacrificed a different bull, hoping Poseidon wouldn't notice. But when Poseidon found out, he was so angered that he arranged for Minos' wife Pasiphae to fall in love with the bull and conceive a monstrous half-man, half-bull child with it. When he was a young bull calf, Pasiphae was able to take care of the Minotaur. Whatever anyone says about the Minotaur, there's no getting away from the fact that he actually ate people. When he was young, his mother, Queen Pasiphae, was just about able to feed him with her own food supply, helping him grow big and strong. But as he grew larger and stronger, he became increasingly violent. Unable to find a reliable food source, the beast began eating people. King Minos was tired of living in fear and shame, so he asked an oracle for advice. The oracle told Minos to hide the Minotaur away in a complex maze from which he could never escape. Minos ordered Daedalus, the great architect, inventor and engineer of ancient Greece, to construct a fantastically complex labyrinth that was impossible to escape from. Once Daedalus had finished building the labyrinth, Minos hid the Minotaur deep inside the maze. King Minos then ordered the people of Athens to surrender 7 maidens and 7 youths every 9 years to feed to the Minotaur. King Minos locked the Minotaur away in the labyrinth from a young age. The isolation, starvation, and frustration of being trapped in any situation for many years would be enough to drive any living creature to the brink of madness. So, any poor fool who dared to enter the maze was likely to meet with a crazed animal who was close to breaking point, and they would most likely be eaten. Theseus, upon hearing that King Minos ordered Athens to send children to their deaths, took the place of one of the children. With the help of Minos' own daughter, Princess Ariadne, he was able to find a way to beat the Minotaur. The night before he was to be forced into the maze, Ariadne came to Theseus and offered him a spool of thread and a sword. "Take these," she said. From the moment Theseus had set on Cretan shores, Ariadne had become entranced by him. She was not charmed like her mother was, simply in love. On the day the Minotaur was to be given his human sacrifices, Theseus told the children with him to not be afraid, but to stay near the door. To wander further in would surely end in them being lost. Theseus gave one of them the end of the string and let it follow behind him as he dove into the crooked labyrinth. By following the thread back whenever he reached a dead end, he was able to ensure he never doubled back too far and had an easy way to return. For an adventurer who was experienced in fighting, Theseus knew he would win easily. In Heroides, Ovid states that he broke the Minotaur's bones with his three-knotted club, and he scattered them over the soil. He did not need Ariadne's sword after all. Perhaps the people of Crete could hear the cruel bellowing of the creature's death. Perhaps some were glad to be rid of it. No one records if Queen Pasiphae was happy or sad about the death of her child. Theseus killing the Minotaur was to begin the downfall of Minos. Daedalus escaped with his son, Icarus, while Minos' daughter, Ariadne, went off with Theseus. Soon, the Athenians drew stronger, and Crete eventually fell to Greek hands. The Minotaur myth is a tragic one, a child born from adultery, punished by being imprisoned in an impossible maze, fed on children before being bludgeoned by Theseus for crimes he could not understand. It is difficult to find meaning in the tale of the Minotaur, but it leaves a lasting impression and forms an important role in understanding the move from Minoan to Greek rule over the Mediterranean.